Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to Roma Theory, Roma 0, Inter 1, ZALEWSKI Disasterclass lead us to another defeat. I am worried. I've been saying this and I will say it again. This game doesn't give me much hope because I just feel like it's a period of the year where nothing is going towards our current wave and everything feels so hard to achieve that even scoring a goal, which is the base of football, looks extremely complicated with these players and of course how we play. So I've got a lot to say actually. I want to keep it very long today. I actually got back from university earlier today, so I wanna chat. I want to stay here long enough to say all I need to say. There are a few things that I need to say, however. First of all, mind the grass. Somebody's cutting the grass outside my window, and he's been doing this since 11 a.m. this morning, and I am going insane. Number two, of course, if you still hear the echoes, don't you worry. My room is still empty. It's a new room, yes, but it's about to get covered up. So if you do feel this echo and if you do find it annoying, don't you worry, it's gonna get solved pretty soon. And number three, before getting into the real match reaction, I just wanted to give a shout out to ComAve, of course, for sponsoring this video. ComAve is where Roma fans win exclusive prizes such as VIP tickets, meeting your idols, winning signed merch, and all of this could be yours if you join the ComAve community by scanning the QR code over there or clicking the link in the description below. Number one, it's a benefit for you guys because it's free and you could be winning some VIP tickets, exclusive once-in-a-lifetime experiences. And number two, if you want to support the channel even more, then do it and it would be great. Thank you to ComAve for sponsoring this video. Let's get into it. Right. Of course, hit the like, let me know your thoughts, subscribe if you're new here, and yeah, let me know what you think. Now, the first thing which I will say is that I have a feeling that Urich is sacking himself. I'm going to open the manager parenthesis in a bit because it's a very, very popular parenthesis. More than ever in these past few weeks, the fans are asking for Urich to be sacked. And I feel like we have to open a parenthesis here because I want to give my opinion on the manager as well. But the number one thing is the base of problems is not the manager. Yes, the manager is influencing and his little shitty decision makings are influencing our results. But the base problem here is the board, is the owners, is the Fredkins. Until the Fredkins run this club like this, without speaking, whenever they speak, they put a French person in front of the cameras who can't even say one single word in Italian, then we will not go anywhere. So yes, the manager is the last one to be blamed. I fully agree on this. The manager is to blame, the players are to blame, and I agree with everybody who says this, but the base problems of this mess, of this catastrophe that we are living, is the owners who need to fuck off. Because if they do not fuck off, we will not win anything in the next 5 years. And this is the worrying part. The worrying part here is that we're not improving. I mentioned this in the last match reaction as well. The thing which worries me is that we are not improving, that we are not giving no reaction to our results. And this is exactly what us fans need to worry about. What us fans need to worry about is the fact that every game that goes by, we witness the same mess and the same crap every single time. There is no improvement. We won 2 games out of 10 total games, League plus Europa League. We only won 2. And one of these 2 wins was that brutal, gruesome win against Venezia 2-1. And adding on to this, in the 8 games that we played in the league, we scored 8 goals. Do we understand what we are currently living? You know, when I say that this is the lowest point that I have seen my team in a long time, I want to emphasize this point. We've scored 8 goals in 8 league games. Those records belong to a team which has swimming professional players, not football professional players. And number 2, we've only won 2 games. And the 2 games that we won were one against the newly promoted side and the other one against the team which scraped relegation in the last game week last season. We are not improving. And this is what I feel like, the way I want to phrase this is, I feel like, you know that something is wrong when every time you watch a game, it's pain. The last time I experienced some of this, I don't know when it was. It was probably when I was 8 years old. Is it me? Or every time, I'm not even looking forward to games anymore because I know that it's a script. Like, it feels like I'm watching the same film all over again. Because every time we play a game, the same things happen. The same exact things happen in every single game. It feels like I'm in this optical illusion that I cannot get myself out of. And I'm not even joking. I am not looking forward to watching games anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy. And you know that the worst thing that a fan can do is accepting this. I have accepted that this season in the league, we will not get higher than 7th. I've accepted this. And this is the worst feeling that a football fan, more specifically a Roma fan, can tolerate. I am accepting this. We are accepting that we're this shit. We are accepting that we are witnessing this mess week in and week out. And it's so sad. It really is so sad. So that the first point that I want to say is that, I don't care who you blame. You can blame the owners, you can blame the manager, you can blame Dovbyk, you can blame Dybala, you can blame the Gizolfi, you can blame whoever you want. But we, as always, us fans, are the victims of this. We are the victims of this mess. Because I have lost words to describe this mess. Because it's more than a mess. You see what I mean? I cannot even describe what we're living because it's more than just a mess. And maybe I'm over-exaggerating because I've never witnessed this. If you're an older Roma fan, for sure you experienced weaker periods. For sure you experienced worse periods. And maybe it's because I'm young, but I've never seen my team this weak. I've never seen my team. I have never accepted that anybody out there can beat this team at time of speaking. And this is what I don't like about this season. That I'm not looking forward to any game because I know that anybody can beat us. And it's the first time ever that I can agree with everybody who says that any team can give me the impression that they can beat us. Going back to the game, Inter won, Inter didn't play well. And the fact that Inter didn't play well is even more depressing. Because yesterday's game, tactically Inter played it really well because they parked the bus really well. We dominated the game. We absolutely dominated the game. And I want to get onto that in a second. They defended really well and then they exploited our mistakes to win the game. That is how a serious football team plays. Exploiting each other's mistakes and winning games. I've got nothing to say against them. I've got nothing to say against them. What I will say, however, is that I expected Inter to play stronger and to play with more quality. Quality which last time in February I saw, but this time round I didn't. And the fact that we gifted them the win and that we lost the game to a weaker Inter side compared to the usual state of Inter is even more worrying. Because it means that not only can't you win big games, you can't even win big games when the big teams aren't fully fit. And people might say, oh, well, Roma contained Inter well, Roma limited Inter well. I disagree. I think it's Inter who limited us pretty well and exploited our mistakes. It's Inter who limited themselves rather than us limiting Inter. Because I said this in the Elfsport game, I believe. You can dominate games as much as you want in football, but if you don't bury the chances against top teams like Inter, you will not win. What did I say in the match preview? Go back, clip it. What did I say? If you don't score on Sunday, you will end up conceding and you will end up scoring. It's scripted. It feels like I am watching Interstellar again and again and again every single weekend. What did I say in that match preview? If we don't score and only focus on parking the bus, we will ultimately concede because Inter have the quality. And that goal that Lautaro Martinez scored is a goal that only Lautaro Martinez can score in this league. So not only are we playing against the best striker in the league, but we are also playing against, we also gifted him a chocolate. So not only are we playing against the best striker in the league, but oh yeah, you can have this chocolate, Lautaro, of course. So having said this, we didn't play a bad game. I will admit this. We did not play a bad game. We contained them. We attacked more than them. I agree. But we didn't win. So again, the manager going in front of the microphones and going, this is the best game Roma have played against Inter at home in a very long while. First of all, it's factually wrong because I played a much better game with De Rossi when I lost 4-2 than I did yesterday. And number two, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Because those are things that you only say when you win a game. And we've got a manager who is giving in mediocrity. So you see what I mean? Irrelevancy and mediocrity, mix them together. That's your manager right now. Whether you like him or not, whether you blame him or not, I'm going to open the manager parenthesis in a second because it deserves to. But first I want to say other things. The first thing which I want to say is hit the like if you haven't already. A lot of you in, so if you haven't already, please do hit the like. I always say this, it's easy to hit the like when we win, when we reach finals, when we reach semi-finals, yes, but can you hit the like when we lose games in such terrible dynamics and circumstances? So hit the like, subscribe. Errors in yesterday's game. So first error, I don't even want to insult Zalewski because I've done it so much. You know, you see what I mean? I don't even want to start speaking about Zalewski because I've already said it 1,000 times. And I had to be forced to hear, oh no, defend Zalewski. No, we can't possibly insult Zalewski like this. Stop treating professional players like teddy bears. Nikola Zalewski earns 5 million euros, 4 million euros, 3 million euros, whatever it is, every season to play this shit in every single game. Stop defending football professional players as if they are teddy bears. Because in a world of hunger and poverty and wars, Zalewski at the end of the season always gets 3 million into his pocket. So I don't need to be told, defend Zalewski, back Zalewski, defend Zalewski, back Zalewski, because I've already reached my conclusion 2 years ago. Zalewski's shit. My opinion doesn't change, whether Zalewski starts or Zalewski doesn't. This is what I was saying. Zalewski's an idiot because Zalewski had the chance to leave this team and leave this mess with him, go in a team where the fans enjoy you more, go in a team where the fans support you more, but he's an idiot because he decided to stay. And that's not my problem. You know, you could be, Zalewski decided to stay to prove Roma fans wrong. If this is proving Roma fans wrong, then Zalewski, my dear, dive inside a toilet and ask your mother to flush it for you. Head dive in it and ask your girlfriend or your mother to flush it if this is proving Roma fans wrong. Zalewski's time at Roma is gone. Why didn't he leave? Why is he such an idiot who decided to stay? He does not like himself. He does not like himself because a player who would have liked himself would have left Roma after everybody insulting you every time you lose. But no, I decided to accept this and continue with this along this path. So I don't even want to speak about the mistake because Zalewski only does mistakes. The last time Zalewski did one good thing in a Roma game, I'm not even joking, it's that penalty that he scored against Feyenoord. It's been almost 1 year since that penalty. But has he done something useful? Has he done something useful that makes us defend him like a teddy bear? He hasn't. And Zalewski is, unfortunately, us Roma fans are victims of another thing. We are the victims of the Zalewski myth. The Zalewski myth says that we need to keep Zalewski because Zalewski plays well with Poland, so we need to keep him because maybe we can convert Zalewski version Poland into Zalewski version Roma. This is a myth. After months, I have come to another conclusion. That Poland, don't disrespect Poland, no disrespect to Poland. I love Poland, I love the Poles. If you're Polish, I love you. This is not disrespectful at all, and I'm not trying to disrespect you. I've come to the conclusion that Zalewski looks like prime Ronaldinho with Poland because Poland play against Estonia, Andorra, and Malta. That's the reason. And he is placed in a context where in the Polish team, apart from Lewandowski, he's the best player. Because, you know, with all due respect, who do Poland have in their national team? That's a myth. He plays well with Poland, yes, but he doesn't play well with Roma. So this should not be a reason as to why we keep him. Having closed the Zalewski phenomenon, manager is at fault for one thing here. Why on earth is Hummels not starting? What did that poor Christian do to Urich? What did that poor Christian come to Rome for? Did he come to Rome to be a tourist? And I think Hummels is mad at this because you can see all the little snippets that he takes to Roma on Instagram. I can guarantee you that Hummels is probably the best defender we have. So somebody please explain to me why on earth has Hummels not even played one game? I can guarantee you that when Hummels starts a game and plays phenomenally, we will all go, oh no, why didn't he start before? Why are players starting ahead of Hummels? What has that poor Christian done to Urich? Number one, they either don't get along with each other. Number two, he either had sex with Urich's wife. Number three, he either cheated with Urich's wife against Urich. Because if otherwise, I do not explain why that poor Christian still hasn't played a game. In fact, a minute, not a game. So, Zalewski wide, when you could easily start Angelino wide and put track Hummels down to also be a bit more defensively safe in case Inter counterattack. Manager's decision or to blame. And another manager's decision is, why did Cristante play 90 minutes? And why was Kone subbed off after 60 minutes when adding on to this, Cristante was booked? Why? Somebody please explain to me what these managers see in Brian Cristante, and most importantly, what these managers see in Cristante that they don't sub him off. Cristante got booked. Kone did not get booked as far as I'm aware. Maybe I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But at the same time, 60th minute, Cristante stays and Kone off. Now, Kone didn't play a great game, but definitely better than Cristante. Another terrible decision making. Chilik, I feel like again, I've insulted enough. But I feel like I can't insult him no more because there is no better option. And this again tracks back to the shit decisions that this board has made this summer, when you clearly knew that the right back was the position to cover the most, and you decided not to cover and buy anybody. I feel like I can insult Chilik as much as I want, but there is no better replacement for Chilik, because I personally think Buba Sangare is 17 years old. I would give him a chance, seeing the current state of our right backs. And Saud Abdelhamid, no offense, but he might be better than Chilik. He surely hasn't proven to me right now. So Chilik was equally to blame for that goal. I agree, but we're stuck with him because our board is so idiotic and dumb and just naive that they didn't even cover and get it. Well, Chilik is our best right back. Chilik is our best right back. That sentence alone is scary. It's scary. I never in a million years, never in a million years did I think I would regret having sold Bruno Perez. Can you believe it? Can you believe this mess? I thought Bruno Perez was terrible. Bruno Perez, compared to all right backs right now, looks like prime Carvajal. Okay. And then the other thing, tactically, it's a mess also tactically, because it's the reason why we only scored 8 goals in 8 games. Which is a terrible stat, by the way. 8 goals in 8 games is a terrible stat. It means an average of 1 goal per game. And in some games, we didn't even score. So, the reason as to why we don't score is because a lot of our offensive players are misused. They are used in a bad way. Starting with Dovbyk. I mean, I'm going to imitate this. Mind my Snoopy pajamas here. Yeah, mind me in my pajamas. You can't even see it. There you go. How can you aim in scoring more goals if Dovbyk is alone? How can you aim at scoring more goals if the only tactic that you have is sending long balls onto Dovbyk, who tries to keep it, doesn't manage to keep it, and make the team go high? If that is the way we want to play, if that is the way we want to play, then we should have kept Lukaku, not Dovbyk. Dovbyk needs through balls. Dovbyk needs passes in the box. You cannot rely on Dovbyk on long balls. Because as much as he's big, he doesn't have the characteristics of a striker who keeps the ball, like a Dzeko. He's a box lethal striker. And yet, why is it that never in a game does he get 1 ball in the box? All we do is long balls, and we've been doing this for the past 5 years. 5 years. All we do in games is long balls to our striker. We did this to Lukaku. We did this to Dovbyk. We're doing this with Dovbyk. We did it with Dzeko. Problem with Dzeko is that Dzeko could have done this. Dzeko was a striker that plays like this. Dovbyk isn't. Dovbyk needs through balls. So, and again, Dybala yesterday played like Gattuso. How can we think of scoring goals if Dovbyk is isolated and we put Dybala to play as Gattuso? Like, I'm not a manager, but fucking hell, I can make better decisions than this man. I'm not even joking. Dybala yesterday played like Gattuso. Fucking Gattuso. In that goal we conceded, Dybala was the last man. Dybala is a last man. I paid a fucking ticket to watch Dybala as a last man. And we complain that we don't score goals. This is the answer. Because Dybala plays like Kante and Gattuso, and Dovbyk is the only one up front. How do we think of scoring goals like this? How? we are misusing players. We are misusing players, and most importantly, we don't attack with enough men. You know, if you want to score goals, if you want to increase the rate of the goals you score, you need to attack with multiple players. You cannot rely on long balls to your striker. They don't stick together. You know, you need to start attacking with more men. You need to start transitioning better. You need to start quickening your counterattacks and adding players to your counterattacks. Because if we only play with Dovbyk and Pellegrini who attack against a strong physical defense like Inter's, we won't score goals. So we need to attack with more men. We need to put more men inside the box, number one, but most importantly, more men around the box, and we need to have different solutions in how to reach these players. Because the only tactical solutions that we do is long balls on Dovbyk or crosses in the box. I never see a through ball. I never see a good long ball. A ball, yeah, I never see a through ball. I'm not even joking. The last time Dovbyk received a through ball, it was that game against Udinese, and that was almost a month ago. In fact, it was a month ago. In the next games after that game, Dovbyk has not received one good through ball. The goal that he scored against Monza, it was him getting the ball and dribbling everybody. That wasn't a through ball. And the goal he scored against Athletic Bilbao was a cross in the box, which, yes, sometimes can go well, but you can't possibly only score with crosses. It's not possible. So this is what I would say about the game. The decisions are terrible. The decisions don't help. The decisions and these little details are influencing our results. The manager, and then I'll end it. I do not like putting managers under the bus. I don't, because I don't think it's the solution. And I've said this. I've said this with Mourinho. I've said this with De Rossi. And look, I will say it again with Urich. Sacking managers for fun is not the solution. The solution is delved deeper down inside of the roots of Trigoria. The base of problems is the board. It's the lack of communication. It's the lack of identity. It's just isolating the team and hoping that they pull miracles without a strong backing from the board. It's not possible. It's not possible. So the basis of this mess is the board. The base of this mess is Dan and Ryan Fredkins, who I want to say once again, know nothing about football. Second of all, I agree. You need to put the players, because a lot of these players never turn up. A lot of these players have never turned up, and a lot of these players are just crap. But the manager is also to blame. And the manager is the last one to be blamed, because changing managers it will not be a solution unless everything changes. It just will not be a solution until you completely revolutionize everything. But the manager is to blame, because why is he the decisions of the manager and the mediocrity of this manager is what we blame about him. Decision making, I already said it. Insisting on the shit. The number one decision making, apart from the substitutions and all of that, is the concept of insisting with the same shit, hoping that these dead players resurrect when they are clearly dead and that they won't resurrect. When you've got players who haven't even played 1 minute in the league, who are craving to start and don't get given opportunities, but we always insist on the shit. I want to see Bupa Sangare instead of Chilik. I do. And I want to see Homos instead of ZALEWSKI, to put Angelino up top. I want to see these changes. We are giving in the shit we have. This manager isn't trying to find solutions. And this is what I mean, he's sacking himself. Because I've said this, go back to my Instagram post, go back to one of these previous live streams. If Urich loses the next game against Fiorentina, regardless of Thursday's result, because if you do not win against Dynamo Kiev, then you deserve to be executed, not sacked. So what happens on Thursday is secondary. It just Thursday's game can just decide the timing of things, not the outcome of things. Because the last thing which I want to see is all of us hyping ourselves up after we win against Dynamo Kiev at home. If we don't win against Fiorentina, there's a high chance Urich gets sacked, in my opinion. And he's sacking himself. Decision making, yes. But the most important thing is this acceptance of being mediocre. Urich has not understood that he is in Rome. Urich still thinks that he's in Turin, or that he's in Verona, or that he's at Crotone or Genoa. You cannot lose a game, go in front of the microphones and say, we played a good game, I liked the performance, because that is irrelevant. And it means that you are giving in on the mediocrity, and that you are not desperate enough to change the situation, and you're just accepting the mess. Oh, it's a mess, but we played well. But I lost, but at the end of the day, I played a good game. And that is the last thing a manager needs to do, because it also has influences on the team. So what I don't like about this man, and I said I would defend him until he's here, and I back him until he's here, because it's not for everybody to accept this job in the first place. But at the same time, he either changes this, or I'm sorry, but he's gonna get sacked. He is stabbing himself. He's just stabbing himself at this rate. So he either changes and understands the environment and the atmosphere and the reality that he's in, or he will not get past the next Saturday. So, a manager who tells to me that I played a good game against Elfsborg, and that I played a good game against Monza, and that I played a good game against Inter, when in these 3 games I got 1 point, it's delusional. Like, it is delusional. And the manager is supposed to be somebody who represents us. So, what I think is the problem with this manager, apart from the fact that he's not experienced enough, and that sacking De Rossi to appoint him was a mistake by itself, and that winning, even thinking about the phrase winning trophies with Urich makes yourself laugh. What this manager doesn't have is the power to connect this fan base with the team. He is emphatically weak. He is emphatically and emotionally weak. Roma fans are coming from Mourinho and De Rossi, who emphatically were the opposite of Urich, which is why the protests are continuing, because you do not have a manager who is willing to kind of not go against these protests, but change the result of these protests. Because the only way you change the results of these protests and these boycotts is, 1, if you change the results, 2, if you change the approach. Because a manager which says, we played a good game after losing against a Swedish side, can't possibly be emphatically defended by the fan base. Hang on a sec, let me just turn the light on. Is this better? Yes, maybe it is. So, this is the first thing. Which is why, if Urich gets sacked, let's say Urich gets sacked next week, I think if he doesn't win against Fiorentina, and if he somehow fucks it up against Dynamo Kiev, it's done, yes. If he loses in Florence, I think there's a high chance he gets sacked. The next manager, from now until the end of the season, needs to be somebody who saves this season by connecting with the fans and ending all of this tantrum and bringing back the results. So the next manager, if we sack Urich, until the end of the season, I'm not saying in a long-term project, the season is done already. The only thing we can do is save the season. And if you want to save the season, you need to get somebody who is emphatically connected with the fan base. And in other words, you either bring De Rossi back, as much as it's a dick move, a De Rossi back would mean all of the unity of the fans would get back together. And in my opinion, the divisions of the fan base is one of the reasons as to why we're not grinding results. Because if nobody's united, the results won't come. Or number two, Claudio Ranieri. So, I said it again. This season, you threw it in the toilet and flushed it away. The moment you sacked De Rossi, you got the season and you threw it away. The only thing you can do is try to save this season. And to save this season, you need to appoint somebody who the fans will kind of fight again with to save the season with him. And it's either De Rossi or Claudio Ranieri. Then at the end of the season, you go big. And if you don't go big, you're absolutely crazy. This summer, I'm expecting Jurgen Klopp. He won't come, but I'm expecting somebody at the level of Jurgen Klopp to try and give a shift like Napoli are doing with Conte. We are the Napoli of last season. Would you bring Allegri? Yes, I would. I would bring Allegri because Allegri in this mess would boss it. So in the summer you need to go big, but to save the season you need somebody whose heart is amongst the Roma fans, and this manager is just not good enough. He just is just not good. This manager is just, apart from the fact that he looks like he doesn't shower, he never showers, and the last time he took a shower was 3 years ago. Apart from that, that's secondary. He does not connect. Connection. He does not connect. The only thing he does in 90 minutes is this. Is kneeling down like this. Which feels like every time I watch him kneeling down, it feels like he's taking a shit. The fans will not stop the protests if this is who we are. Somebody who accepts the mediocrity, somebody who's not willing to change the mediocrity, and somebody who isn't emphatically strong enough to bond with the fan base. Having said this, I'm going to end it because I said everything I had to say. I don't know what to expect. I have lost all hope this season because if in previous seasons, if in previous seasons, yes, we were terrible in the league, but at least I got satisfaction from our European campaigns. This time round, it's the first time in a while, and I mean in a very long while, that I am expecting nothing. And in fact, the more I watch games, the more I'm like, I cannot be dealing with this shit anymore. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad that and it's so unpredictable to see what happens next. In the next 2 games, I mean, the season is already thrown away the moment you sacked De Rossi, but in the next 2 games, you will see your entire season flash around your eyes. We're in that position. If you don't win against Dynamo Kiev, in my opinion, there's no way we advance in the next round of the Europa League. Something which at the start looked incredibly wrong. We are going to win against Dynamo Kiev, I'm convinced about it, but Fiorentina, we're going to lose, and I'm also convinced about that. So, yeah, we're just, I don't know. I've lost words. I've lost words. I don't know how to describe this mess anymore. Right, I'm gonna catch you tomorrow to speak about more of these chats because we need to focus on these chats. What happens next, or Urich in, Urich out, debates and all of it. I'm gonna end the match action here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you agree with what I said. Otherwise, of course, everybody can think whatever they want. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. It's always good to hear what everybody thinks. So don't be shy, leave a comment. It also helps the algorithm. And let me know in the comments what I want everybody right now, before leaving this stream and going to lunch, school, wherever you're going. What I want everybody to do right now, before leaving this stream, is let me know in the comments, or you Urich in or Urich out. Because as far as I'm aware, I am 50-50. I don't want to throw another manager under the bus, but at the same time I do, because he's clearly not good enough for this job. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel. I always say this, we're a community. Hit the like even in these moments. I want 120 likes in this live stream. Yes, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, grab your friends and families. Thank you again to ComAve for sponsoring this video. ComAve is where Roma fans win exclusive prizes. Like me, sometimes in the VIP lounge on Thursday, I'll be there with my father, thanks to ComAve, filming the stadium vlog. If you want to be like me and win some prizes, exclusive prizes from ComAve, all you need to do is click the link in the description below to join the ComAve community. It's free by clicking the link, and maybe one day you can win VIP tickets, you can win meeting your idol opportunities, winning signed merch, and all of it. Love you all. Let's see what happens. Let me know your thoughts and hit the like, and I will talk to you soon. Simo out. By the way, room is about to be completed in the next few days. So as I said before, mind the little echo because it's still an empty room. Bye bye. Talk to you soon.